Welcome, mothers and others. I have two more great candidates to introduce you tonight, and both of these candidates are actually friends of mine. So let's go right ahead and we'll start with Chuck Cruz. Chuck Cruz is a candidate for Texas House 128, and he is running up against Republican Briscoe Cain. And I like to think that his last name is, there's a purpose, like Cain. I don't know. It's just. I personally think Briscoe Cain is the devil. He has this moments of when he is just a nice person and other moments where I'm like, this guy, not a good guy. Just not a good human being, not a good person. And so it would be great to have a wonderful candidate in this role running up against Briscoe Cain, somebody who really cares about Texans. So that is why I'm now going to introduce you all to Chuck Cruz, who is running for this office. And Chuck, tell us a little bit about who you are and why you're running for office.
Sure. Thank you very much, Nancy. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with y'all. So I am a retired chemical engineer. I got my degree from Texas A&M in 2005 and came to Baytown shortly thereafter to begin work at a plant making paint, and then spent almost a decade at that plant before joining the insurance industry, going into chemical plants all over the United States and Canada to inspect them and perform a safety risk analysis to see how bad could be if things got bad. Did we have a risk of a $10 million check, $100 million check, $1 billion check that we might have to write? We were basically kicking the tires and seeing what it was that we were putting our insurance company on the line for. So I'm very skilled in evaluating the safety processes and maintenance programs for petrochemical facilities, which is why in 2022, when there was nobody who had filed to run against Briscoe for HD 128, 2 or 3 days before the end of the filing deadline, I filed to run against him, and I ran in that cycle strongly on my skills and knowledge as a chemical engineer, because a representative, more than anything else, is supposed to represent their district. This district covers Baytown, Deer Park, LaPorte, Pasadena, Crosby, Highlands. You can't throw a rock without hitting a chemical plant around here somewhere. Everybody in HD 128 is familiar with flares. Everyone in the district is familiar with fires and explosions, because unfortunately it's part of life, because too often these petrochemical facilities are run by people who have an interest in dollars over safety. And they are trying to make profit margins while putting the lives of their employees and their surrounding communities at risk. I want to run to make sure that those plants are held accountable when they make a mistake, when they have an incident that injures or sickens the people in the surrounding communities. And currently we don't have that. TCEQ is a paper tiger. They enforce almost nothing, and the fines that they issue are very, very paltry. They're a drop in the bucket on a line item for most of these larger facilities. So that's how I ran in 22, and in 24, I am changing my focus, because while that is an important issue for Texans in this area, it is not as key for everybody in the entire state of Texas. So what I am shifting to talk more about in 24 are the things that truly affect all Texans: healthcare and education. We have seen numerous attacks, the school voucher scam BS that keeps cropping up and getting pushed by the Republicans, that is only a benefit to the wealthy. It is not going to help the people that they claim it's going to help. It's absolute BS, and we need to absolutely stomp that into the ground. Briscoe's in favor of it, of course. His kids are all homeschooled, so he wants a check so that he can get reimbursed for homeschooling his children. Then the other thing is, of course, healthcare. I'm going to say it right loud and clear. Abortion is healthcare. For those who don't know, in October, I spent the entire month of October and then the first week and a half of November in Ohio working on issue 1 to make sure that Ohio women had the right to pursue healthcare as they saw fit, because abortion is healthcare. Reproductive rights are human rights. If you do not have the ability to make decisions about your own body, you are a slave. That's it, plain and simple. If you cannot make decisions about your own body, you have no freedom whatsoever. So, Ohio has the ability to have a citizen-led ballot initiative. Texas does not. I saw an opportunity, I saw a need, so I went there, won that, helped them win that. I didn't do it myself by any means, my God. But I'm strongly in favor of people being able to make decisions about their own body. So the two big things that I'm focusing on in this cycle are education and healthcare. I do have a list of issues. It is difficult to pick the highest priorities, but I feel that in this cycle, those are going to be the two that I speak about the most. I think that's the majority of what I was wanting to say at this point.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, so you mentioned, you know, the top most important issues for you that you feel that are the most important for your district. So, where can we find you, and how best can we support you right now while you're ready?
Absolutely. So my website is cruise4tx.org, CREWS, not like Ted, cruise4tx.org. And then all of my social media links are there at the bottom of every page on the website. My issues page goes into a lot more detail about several other issues. Texas is on fire, y'all. Texas is that the Republicans have driven it until the wheels are about to fall off. And so I'm going to be honest, it is difficult to say what is the most important issue. I feel like it's being asked, when your house is on fire, which kid are you going to save? I mean, they're all important. All of them have the ability or have the potential to affect the lives of millions of Texans. And so it's really tough to say this is the most important, this one is the most important, because there's so many things that we need to fix in Texas. There's so much that is broken. So please go to my website, CREWSFORTX.org, and check out the issues page and opportunities to join me. I've already started hitting the doors and would appreciate help in the area. My plan right now is to mostly be doing lit drops until February. And then once February gets, I'm going to start actually door knocking. Right now, I just want to get that literature on the doors, but starting to have the conversations. And then Dwayne touched on it earlier. Absolutely a key feature, a key focus point, what I want to work on parallel to my campaign, seating and training precinct chairs. Over here on the eastern side of Harris County, Chase is my bookend brother on the west side of Harris County. In the center of Harris, where it's nice and deep and blue, we've got a lot of precinct chairs who are doing great work. Out here in the edges, there are a lot of precinct chair vacancies. And so to everybody that's listening, the number one thing I'm going to ask, get in touch with your precinct chair. You don't need to be juggling 15, 20 different campaigns. Talk to your precinct chair. That's their job. And if there's not a precinct chair, be that precinct chair. Be the change you want to see.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, Chuck. That is Chuck Cruz, everyone. And Chuck, I look forward to seeing you on the campaign trail.
Thanks so much, Nancy. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.